Give your feet, just tune into the muscles in your feet, in your toes, your knees, your legs, and just gently engage the muscles in the whole of your body. And relax. Let the awareness come up into your chest, let the sternum lift. And let your shoulders lift up, take your shoulders back. Beautiful. Let your awareness come into your right hand. And then just start to give your fingers a bit of a shake. Just going to let our wander in, Charlotte. There we go. Charlotte. That's it. And then just feel the awareness trickling in from your fingertips. First of all, tune into all the joints in the hand. And then focus that awareness into your thumb. So you're just shaking your thumb, your first finger, middle finger, the ring finger, and your little finger. It's all right, we've only just started. Feel that lovely awareness go into the palm of your hand. And then take it into your wrist, to your forearm. It flows up into your bicep and your shoulder. So the whole of your arm is loose and relaxed. Just separate your feet, let your arm take down towards the ground, and that vibration goes into your trapezius, into your neck. And then let your arm just be still down here. And then what we're going to do is take the arm over towards the right and start to describe a circle with that arm. And you might want to turn your toes out a bit and sink down through your hips and let your circle get bigger. So it's being led by your elbow, kind of. And as you lift up, you breathe in. And as you come down, you breathe out. So this is lovely. This is mobilizing your shoulder, moving into that softness. Okay, and next time you come up, we're going to pause with the arm up overhead. Lovely. Breathe in and feel space in your ribs. And breathe out. Just let that arm come overhead. Just allow your breath, your awareness, flow into the right side of your body. Take another breath in. And as you breathe out, just let that arm down by your side. And then noticing the difference and giving your left hand a shake. So all the fingers loosen up to begin with. And then focus into your thumb, your first finger, your middle finger, ring finger, and your little finger. Feel it flowing out into the palm and your wrist. There you feel it. The elbow starting to relax, the forearm, bicep and shoulder. You tilt forwards and shake your arm down towards the ground. Shaking away any tension, tightness, any feelings of being stuck. We've had snow, haven't we? So letting go of that cooped up feeling. Then let your arm just relax down there now. Just notice any sensations in your hand and your arm. And then taking your arm over towards the right and start to create that circle again. You might want to turn your knees out. And as you come down, just let the base of the body sink. Let your circle become bigger. And it's led by your elbow. So taking in some nice deep breaths. And then next time your arm comes up, just pause. And reach up on that left side, breathe in. And breathe out, let your arm come overhead. Just allowing the breath to move into the lung on the left side. So you've got space in your ribs. And as you breathe out, just let your arm come back down by your side. Just bring your feet back together. Bank the balls of the feet down. Just have a little bounce. The balls of the feet, lifting the heels. It gets your lymphatic system moving. So the system that takes all the stuff out of your body, toxins, things we don't need. Immune system. So it's really healthy. Beautiful. Let your arms lift up overhead. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can breathe out through your mouth. We're going to bend the knees and take your arms back behind. Nice stretch through the backs of the legs, and then rise back up as you breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out. And then just one more time, and this time, pause when you come down towards the ground. So let your arms come forward. Let your head, your neck, your shoulders relax here. A nice gentle stretch through the backs of the legs. You can bend your knees. Let your abdomen rest onto your thighs. And then just gently engage your core muscles and begin to stand back up. Let's stack in each vertebra one at a time. And let your hands come up through the midline. Enjoying that gorgeous lift up. Your space. In your chest, let your shoulders relax. And then just let your arms come down either side and let them rest by your sides. Okay, so the arms are activated. Let's do the same with the legs. So you can pop your hands on hips for balance if you wish. Lift your right foot, hands, circle your toes out to the right. And as always, you can find something still to focus on. Just easing into that ankle joint. Just circling out a few times, circle back in again. And then just let your foot have a little shake. See if you can make the sole of the foot loosen up. And your toes. And the top of the foot. And then let that movement come into your calf muscle in your knee. It comes up into the thigh, into the big quad. A strong muscle. So if I remember what Monica, one of my teachers, said, she says, your confidence is in your calves and your determination is in your thighs. So it's shaking away that determination. Let your leg come out in front. And then let your leg just come across your body for a second. And it always helps, I think, to put your arms out. And then bring that leg back around and place it back down. Take your weight into your right leg, pop your core muscles on, into your left leg, and circle your toes out to the left. Your glutes on, keep you steady. Changing direction when you're ready. And then let your foot have a little shake. This is a question you can answer at the end. Do you find that when you're in the flow, everything starts to rhyme? Or is that just me? I know Chloe's a poet, so maybe just feel that lovely vibration again, traveling into your calf muscle, your knee, into the quad. So it's segmentally waking up the body. Comes up into the hip. And the leg comes to the front. Brilliant. Let the leg go across the body just for a second. Great for the brain. Lovely. Bring the foot back around, place it down. Time for a whole body shake. Try not to rhyme things now because I feel silly. Your body is shake, become awake. And then come back to your standing position. Place your feet back down onto the mat. We're going to go up to the shoulders. So lift both of your shoulders up towards your ears and take a breath in. And then breathe out, relax your shoulders down. And we're just going to start to begin little circles that move back And you can allow this to be a whole body movement. Your shoulders lead. Your hips are included as well, and your ankles. Start to lift your elbows. Just lifting the elbows up and back. This is getting oxygen into the lungs. And stretching those muscles of the ribs, the intercostals, really difficult to get into. After taking your shoulders back, just begin to sweep your arms underneath. When we do this, you get compression in your kidneys. It soothes your adrenals, so it's great. It's a good stress buster. It's loosening into it. And then let your movement just come back to your elbows. And as you move your elbows, you really notice your feet, your ankles, your hips. And then just go back to your shoulders. And then allow your shoulders to stop moving, but still keep your hips moving. You just gently transferring your weight. You might want to separate your feet a little bit further apart. And we store so much in our hips, connected to the emotions. Just let your arms start to be included in the movement. You're lifting the hands up through the midline and starting to make a nice big figure of 8 in front, still being led by the elbows. And you can step out wide and just begin to explore the space around you. Closing your eyes if you feel you want to this morning. Moving, you can come into a forward bend, do whatever you wish. Allow that energy, that prana to flow through you. Listen to your body's wisdom on where you might want to be today. Just using this lovely flowing movement to ease out any tension in your spine. Gorgeous. And then just let your body come forward. You come down into a nice, soft, wide-legged forward bend. You can keep your figure of 8 moving, or you can make like a half moon shape. Just let your body feel free in this lovely forward bend. When we bring the head lower than the heart, it really helps to restore us and calm us. Now just let your body become still now. Pause in that forward bend. You can bend your knees. Lovely. And then walking your feet back to hip distance. Bend your knees deeply so your abdomen rests onto your thighs. And take a few breaths here. And then engage those core muscles and start to stand up. Stacking each vertebra. Let your hands come up through the midline. Breathe in as you lift. Okay, so coming up into that standing stretch. And then your palms are just going to face down once more and just gently flowing back down. Breathing out, keeping your hands close to your body, bending your elbows. Let your knees bend, core muscles engage, and just start to lift back up. One vertebra stacks on top of the other. You breathe in, rise. Flowing back down again, softly flowing down, breathing out. Lovely. And you can pause in your forward bend for a moment or two. And then engage those core muscles, rising up once more. Stacking your vertebrae, lifting up, even opening the arms out if you wish. We're going to come back down one more time. Pause this time in your forward bend. Let your knees bend. Allow the crown of the head to hover above the ground, and then place the backs of the hands down towards the mat and have your middle fingers just touching, just a little bit. Okay, we're going to stand up, and as we stand up, the arms are going to go out to the side, and it's as though a big ball is expanding in front of you. So you breathe into here. We'll do it a couple of times. Palms turn up, you breathe out, and you just extend the palms. And then you continue breathing in as the arms come up overhead. I'm going to ask you just to pause here for a second, because I'm going to let Chloe back in because she got, there we go. And then we're going to come back down. So your palms face down, you breathe out, flowing down. So you're exhaling, you're letting go of that apana, that type of prana that we don't need. And then bend your knees, backs of the hands down towards the mat. We're going to repeat it again. Now this time breathe in, arms go out to the side, core muscles engage, palms face up, you breathe out. Slight extension, breathing again. And there we go, we're going down again, breathing out. Lovely, coming down. Knees bend, core muscles engage, middle fingers touch. You breathe in, propels you up. Exhale with arms, just extend a little bit. And then you breathe in again, gathering. And palms connect this time. And then you're going to bring the hands down in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And I'm going to invite you just to stand for a second. The body in balance. Tune into that space in your chest. When you're ready, let your hands just come down by your sides. Do have a drink of water if you wish. I'm just going to we had a cat visitor while we were doing it, but she's moved on. Okay. So I'm hoping that you're feeling activated. You're in the zone. I'm just going to invite you to come into mountain pose now, Tadasana. So you want to bring your feet to hip distance. So you can pop your fist down between your arches, or you can close one eye and just hover the fist between the two arches, and that gives you your approximate hip distance. So it gives you a very steady, firm foundation. And then spend a moment with your toes and the soles of your feet. Feel anchored. And we're going to let that awareness, that steady earth energy, rise up into your legs. Keeping your knees nice and soft. Let that awareness rise up into your thighs and just begin to park your pelvis so it's in neutral. So it's neither tipped forwards or backwards, and that pelvic floor muscle is lightly engaged, about 60%. As you breathe in now, let your sternum lift. Space in the chest, space in the lungs. And then your next in-breath lifts your shoulders a tiny bit and just circle those shoulders back and allow them to sink into their most comfortable sockets. And if you want to do it a couple of times, please do. Like bringing your body into that alignment. Just take your chin back a little bit to lengthen your neck. And then feel the crown of your head rising up. Connecting with your breath. The top part of the body feels open and free. From the waist down, from the hips down, you feel steady. strong, and connected. We're just going to begin to rock backwards and forwards. And in this rocking, just transferring your weight from your toes to your heels, rolling along the soles of the feet. And if you feel like your toes are going to come away, you can hop them down as if they're claws. And you need your core muscles on. Let the body just be still for a second. Refresh core, and then take your weight over towards the right side of your right foot, and then into your right heel and your left heel, side of your left foot, your toes. So you're just moving around the outer edges of your feet. You're just shifting that weight around. And this really helps you to take your awareness inside. And pausing for a moment. Pause, refresh your core muscles. Take a breath. And then go the other way. So go over towards the left side of your left foot, into your left heel, right foot. Now turn you around. And then let your body just return back to that still place. Refresh your core. You let your right palm come out in front of the navel, palm facing upwards. Take your left palm overhead, so both palms are facing one another. So we're going to take a stretch into the side of the body. First of all, breathe in and just let your spine lengthen. And then breathe out, come over into very, very gentle sideways stretch. Let your right shoulder relax. Use your breath now, lift up. Circle your arms around as you breathe out. Breathe in as you create space, and then breathe out. Come down into that sideways release. You're going to use your core muscles to lift back up. Circle around on your out breath. Breathe in, create that space, and breathe out. Just relax into that sideways fold. And you can press down into the sole of your left foot. And as you breathe in, feel that space in your ribs. Use your core muscles, lift up, circle your arms around. You breathe in and release into that left side, relaxing your left shoulder. And then just gently press down into the sole of your right foot. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift and back up now. And then we're going to bring both palms out in front of the face. Keep your elbows in line with your shoulders. And it's as though a thread is attached to your middle fingers. And those arms just lift up. What a beautiful stretch through latissimus dorsi. Just keep breathing. Your arms come back down. This next stage is optional. So if you want to lift your heels up, as we lift the arms up, you can. So breathing in, taking the arms up. Breathe out. And then as you breathe in, come up onto the balls of the feet. Just hold in that steady for a moment or two. Bring your heels back down and then let your arms come down. Good. It's going to go out to this side now, big beautiful wings. And we're going to draw everything in. We're going to contract all the muscles, draw the backs of the hands in towards your shoulders, sink into your knees now, breathe in. And as you breathe out, expand into that space. Lovely. We're going to do this 3 times. This is our second time drawing in. Really feel it in your core between your shoulders. Breathe in. Fill up with love and release. And then just one more time, drawing everything in. And as you breathe out, expanding into that space. Lovely. Then let your arms just come down by your side. Begin to just rotate the arms, allowing the movement to come right up from the base of the spine. And we're just squeezing away any tension that's accumulated in the arms. Lift the arms up to shoulder height. Movement comes through your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, and your fingers. I'm just going to pause for a second now. Okay, look over towards your right hand and then turn your left arm behind. That's it. So what we're going to do is breathe in through the right side. Let the breath come through you and feel as though you're breathing out of the left. And there's just a very slight lengthening of the arms. So you breathe in, you come through, and then as you breathe out, just very slightly lengthening the arms. This creates a lovely mobilization of your shoulder girdle. It releases any tension. And then I'm going to invite you just to use this movement to bring your hands back by your sides. So just working with that at your own leisure. It's a lovely movement. Hands have just gone all crazy. Give them a shake out after that. I've noticed that we're pretty much all pink this morning. I'm just looking. So Joey's got a lovely pink t-shirt. So has Charlotte, and I'm looking for some pink in Lynn's house. I think I can see some on the picture behind you. It's just up there. And we've lost Chloe. She's disappeared. So I'm hoping she's going to return. So where are we going now? Back up to the shoulders and just circling your elbows around. Let the movement just lift up. Let the sternum lift and let your circles become bigger. Breathe in as you lift the elbows and breathe out as they come down. Notice what's happening in your chest, in the lungs. And then have an awareness of your back and your spine. And then you're going to bring your elbows together in front and then go the other way. So we've been going up, so we're going to go down. So it's a bit like putting a coat on. You breathe in and you breathe out as the elbows come down. And you can let your neck be included in it as well. So as you come down, just bring your neck, your chin in towards your chest. So we're just circling the shoulders. And then we're going to let the arms just come down to rest by your sides. Take a moment just to stand, to pause, to be in that space. Okay. Now just placing your hands underneath your ribs, so you're supporting your ribs and you're supporting your sacrum, so your fingers are just on the top of the sacrum. All we're going to do is fold the ribs over the hands and stretch the front of the body. So let your knees bend a little bit, ease your hips forward, keep your chin towards your chest and just ease the body back. And I'm hoping you can feel a stretch from your collarbone down towards the pubic bone. And then engage those glutes and core, lift up. And just tilt forward so you come into a tabletop back. Now bend your knees. Let your head, neck and shoulders relax. Let your abdomen come to rest onto your thighs. And then we're going to begin to stand up. So engage your core, your glutes. Press your hands into your sacrum and just begin to stand up and stack one vertebra at a time. And ease those hips forward again. Chin towards the chest. Nice big breath in. Lift up, hinge forward again. Release your hands down. Back to the legs and come into your forward bend. And in your forward bend, just let, again, your head, neck and shoulders relax. And you're going to step your feet out to the sides. And then hold onto your elbows and just begin to move gently between your two big toes. So releasing tension at the backs of the legs, the sacrum. And this is a really nice, relaxing, lazy movement. And then we're going to bring the right elbow just towards the midpoint between your two big toes. And then take a moment to breathe in. And as you breathe out, just draw your right shoulder down towards the mat so you can feel space. Here, breathe in. And as you breathe out, just relax in that right shoulder. Go back into your swinging movement. And then take your left elbow towards that midpoint, breathe in. And as you breathe out, let that left shoulder come down towards the ground. Put space in that shoulder area. And then come back to the middle, let your arms come down and just move in your own unique way. Feel very, very relaxed here. And you can bend your knees. Just flowing, feeling. All right. So lift up a tiny bit, just so you can see. Turn your toes of your right foot to 60 degrees and then the other foot as well. So both feet are in a nice diagonal. And then you want to have your hips square over your leading knee. And that leading knee is slightly bent. What we're going to do is you're just going to lengthen your spine and fold your belly down towards your thigh. And then hold either your knee, your ankle, your foot. And relax here for a moment or two. You can direct your breath into the leg, into any tightness. Just using your out breath to move into that release, that stretch. And then if you wish, you can just gently straighten your leg a little bit, and that will intensify your stretch. That's lovely. And then bend that leading knee. Engage core, lift up. And then walk your feet the other way. Both feet be in that diagonal. Check your hips are square over your leading leg. So it's not quite exact. Lengthen your spine, fold your abdomen towards your thigh so it benefits your digestion. And then just relax forward. Using the breath to ease into that shape. And if you want to, you can press back on the knee, but make sure you don't lock any joints here. Lovely. Engage your core muscles, lift up, back towards the front, come back into your forward bend. All right, walk your feet back to hip distance or whereabouts you're going to be for your squat, and then just lower yourself down, come down into whatever your squat might be today. We're going to balance on the balls of the feet. Engage your core and let your spine unfurl and let your arms come up. So we've got a nice, easy balance. Find something to rest your eyes on. Just hold in there for a moment or two. Your fingertips back down towards the ground. We're going to lift the hips and pelvis up and draw your chin in towards your shins. The chin comes in towards your shins. And then when you come back down, just lowering yourself back down. It's really good for your digestion, by the way. Engage core, let your arms lift up, float up. Now this time, awareness into your shoulders and your shoulder blades, and draw the hands back. And the palms just face forwards. And then what we do here is a bit of breathing. So as you breathe, you can breathe in and out, and you just let the hands flow forwards and backwards. So you can feel a nice little hinge between your shoulder blades. And this is a gesture of letting go. It reminds us that the past is behind us. Every day is fresh. Now let your fingertips come back down onto the mat. And we're going to stand up now. So bring your heels down and just let each vertebra arrive into its place. You can take your hands all the way up through the midline if you wish. Enjoy that release, that stretch. And then you can bring your palms together and your hands come down to settle. Front of your heart, close your eyes. Rest into that place of peace, serenity. Hands can just come to settle by your sides. I hope that your body feels feeling more connected into your physical structure. I'm going to invite you to have a little drink, if that's what you want to do, and then come down onto the mats and come into crocodile pose, into Makrasana. I would have thought we had all that snow last week. It's incredible, isn't it, how gorgeous it is today. So come onto your tummies. And separate your feet wide. Have your heels turned in. Toes pointing outwards. And then placing one arm on the mat, place your other arm over the top and pop your forehead onto the backs of your arms. And just take a few moments to breathe. And really breathe into your belly. And as you breathe out, relax. Hips sink into the mat. And just connecting with your natural rhythm. Noticing how your body gently lifts on your in-breath. And that feeling of relaxation as you breathe out. I'm just going to do a very, very subtle body scan. So tune into your feet, your toes, your heels. And let that awareness just rise up through your ankles and your knees. Feeling steady. And then let that awareness just rise up now into your chest. And then just let your feet come back to hip distance. So you walk your feet back together. And then you can turn over however you like. But if you want to turn over in the yoga way, you just bring your left arm up above your head and just roll over onto your back. And then come onto your backs. And the first thing we're going to do is just rest in the easy rest pose. So it's like your knees come together so they're supported. Place your hands onto your belly. And just take a moment to breathe into your belly. And the hands are the same as what we did before. So just let your middle fingers come together. As you breathe in, you'll notice that space. And as you breathe out, the fingertips reconnect. And then if it feels good for you this morning, just gently bring both knees in towards your chest and begin to rock from side to side. So you're soothing the top of the sacrum. It relaxes. I'm just beginning now to just circle both knees around. That pressure just moves around the sacrum bone, that triangular shaped bone. And change your direction when you feel ready. Then steadily allowing your legs to become still and stretching your legs out on the mat in front of you. And if you need to bend the knees at all, please feel like you can. Don't lay here experiencing any pain at all. So you're just going to breathe out, gently engage your core muscles, and your right arm is going to lift up on your in-breath. And as you breathe out, that arm comes down to the ground behind you. And then just refreshing that core muscle, the arm lifts back up. And as you breathe out, it returns back down by your side. And we're going to alternate the arms, so the left arm lifts now. And as you breathe out, that arm comes down behind. Take a moment as you pause. And then when you're ready to breathe in, that arm lifts back up. And breathe out as it comes down. And just begin to alternate left and right. In breath happens, you lift up, out breath, hand returns to the mat. And as we all breathe at different speeds, I invite you to just explore this movement with your own breath. So each time the arm lifts up, there's a very, very gentle engagement of your core muscles. And then just enjoying a couple more on each side, so 2 more on each side, and then just come to pause. Okay. We're going to begin a movement we call puppet strings. So as you lift your right arm, you're now going to lift your right knee. So there's a point where your arm and your knee or your thigh is vertical. And then as you breathe out, the arm comes down to the mat behind and the knee comes further down towards the chest. And then when you're ready to breathe in again, arm and thigh come up and then the leg is returned back down onto the mat. So same arm, same leg. we're just synchronizing the movement, same arm, same leg. A minute pause in between. These movements we're working with this morning help you to tune into that parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxation response. So your body can rest, revitalize, release stress. And quite often we don't even realize that these blocks or these things are there, but we notice when they're gone because we feel so much better. And just enjoying just one more on each side, and then let the body come down to stillness. Just take a moment to notice the whole of the body resting on the mat. And then we bring awareness into the right arm and the left leg, and you just start to create that movement again, but opposite. So this becomes a movement for the brain as well as the body. When we move in this way, we really have to focus, really have to concentrate. And we call it one-pointed focus. That's the secret to a relaxed mind. Being able to concentrate and focus when we need to. And you begin to slow the movement right down. Really short pause in between. And then let the whole of the body come down. Just rest down into that still feeling. And then bending both of your knees, bring your knees back into your chest and have a little rock from side to side. And you can circle your knees around again. As you circle your knees, see if you can direct the body right down to the tip of the coccyx, to your root center down to Muladhara. That'll help to settle you, release any tension again. And do change direction when you're ready. Okay. And then pause, cross your right thigh over your left thigh, interlace your hands behind the backs of your knees. Breathe in, and on your out breath, just gently draw the knees down towards your chest. And you're feeling a nice stretch into your piriformis muscle. Muscle can get really tight if you suffer from conditions like sciatica, lower back pain. Just breathing out into that release. And then change your legs over. So cross the other thigh over. Interlace your hands behind the back of your knee. And on your out breath, just guiding those knees down. Beautiful. Release your legs, bring your soles onto the floor. So the soles of your feet. You want to check your body's in a straight line and your knees are bent. Your feet are quite close to your buttocks, and you want to make sure the body's in a straight line. So we're going to move into Setubhandasana, the bridge. So the first thing I invite you to do is just check that the curve of your back is flat towards the mat. And if it's not, all you have to do is lift your hips up and shuffle them towards your heels a tiny bit. And that flattens that lovely curve, that low doses. And we're going to move with the breath. And the first thing to do is to breathe out. And then just gently engage your glutes, your core muscles, and press down into that curve. So the coccyx lifts off the mat a tiny bit. And then as you breathe out, just relax and release and just roll forwards. Now this time you're going to engage glutes, core muscles, press down into that curve and start to roll back so the coccyx lifts up, pressing down into your knees, and then breathe out, relax. So we're going to move with the breath. So each time you breathe in, you press down, and then you're going to start to lift up from the base. So you're coming into a very, very relaxed, gentle bridge. Take a journey through those energy centers. Muladhara at the base, to Swadhisthana at the reproductive center, solar plexus, Manipur, heart center, and then eventually you'll come all the way towards your throat center to Vishuddhi. Just roll in, lifting. And each time you'll lift one more vertebra. But do be aware of your neck. Make sure your neck is long, there's no compression. And then when you arrive into your full pose, keep your glutes on, check your knees are parallel. And if you wish, take your arms behind you. Then we're going to use the arms like a lever. Let the arms lift up and then slowly bring each vertebra down so you've got that awareness of each vertebra as you place it down onto the mat. I invite you to go up into it again. And you can just go up in one lift, so moving from the base. You can feel as though there are two threads attached to your pelvis. I'm going to lift you up. And then bring the arms back down. And then bring you, when you've completed it, so I can't see most of you. I don't know where you are. So when you've got to the end of your bridge, again, just bring your knees back into your chest and have a little rock around. Lovely. You're going to slide your left leg away now. Keep your right knee down towards your chest and just have a little circle into your knee. And we're just soothing the hip, place where we store so much tension here. Change your directions as well. Let the diameter of your circle increase. Okay, and then pause, breathe in. On your out breath, press your knee down towards your chest and just hold it there for a second. You can press the back of the left thigh down to the mat as well. Lift your nose up towards your knee. And then bring your head back down onto the mat. I'm going to place your right foot onto your left knee, left hand onto your knee. Your right arm is down on the mat as your support arm. So we're going to move into the half Maltese cross. Now breathe in and use your breath as you breathe out. Let your hips and pelvis roll, keep your shoulder down. If it feels a bit tight, you can lower your arm so it's a bit lower. And release, relax into that stretch shape. When you arrive into your full shape, take a few breaths. Got core muscles on, roll back to the center. Straighten up your hips. Slide your leg away. Bring the other leg in. Push your knee down towards your chest. And you can begin to start just circling your knee around. Just easing it around, always trying to just keep a hand connected to the leg. You feel that support. And then just pause for a moment, breathe in. And breathe out as you press your knee down. And then your nose lifts up to your knee. Bringing the head back down when you're ready. Bring your foot over towards your knee. Right hand on your knee, left hand on the mat. And then moving with your breath. So breathe in. And as you breathe out, let your hips and pelvis roll, move into that gorgeous half Maltese cross. You can let your head look away from your body. And soften into it. Use your core and breath, roll back to the middle. Straighten up your hips. Okay. One more. So you're lifting both legs up above the body. Draw your toes down towards you and you feel it stretch through the backs of the legs. And then pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. And then we just begin to alternate. Right. And then come back to steadiness. Core muscles on. And then your legs become like the second hand on a clock. The slower you go, the harder it is. Just bringing your legs down to the mat. Let them rest. Your toes roll out to the side, your palms face upwards. Grab your blankets, your cushions, your socks, and your cozy things ready for Setubhandasana. We reach the most important part of the class. This is the bit where you get a chance to be still. And this morning it's peace relaxation. So we're going to breathe, feeling of peacefulness. So just let yourselves sink down into your most comfortable position on your mat. You're softening down into your ankles, your feet, your knees, your hips, shoulders. Just breathe in, not doing anything with the breath, just allowing it to be received and released. hearing the sound of your breath. And the first thing we're going to do is just scan through the body once more. As you scan through the body, create a very gentle tension. So you're contracting the muscles, pressing your feet into the mat, calf muscles, knees, quads, hips, glutes. Press you back into the mat and your arms, and just breathe into that strength, into that tightness. And then breathe out and just let your body soften. And then drawing your toes towards you. Breathing in. Breathe out, just push the toes away. Allowing that awareness, that focus to come up towards your knees, the backs of your knees, and just press the backs of the knees down into the mat. Okay, softening again. Tightening the quads, glutes. Breathing into that tightness, those strong muscles. And breathe out, soften, relax, release. Just pressing the sacrum down into the mat. And let the sacrum relax. Drawing your lower abdominals in, so drawing the tummy button back towards the spine. And then breathe in and breathe out, still holding his muscles. And then just gently softening. Making the belly really soft. Now roll your thumbs in towards your palms and wrap your fingers around your thumbs, and then just roll your arms towards your body. And take a moment to breathe in. And breathe out, roll the arms away. Stretch the fingers, let your fingers curl. And then just let your arms relax, your hands. Pressing your shoulders down into the mat now, your shoulder blades. Just massaging any part, any area here. And awareness comes into the lungs, into the chest. And you just turn your head to the left side and to the right. And then let your head come back to the middle. Scrunch your eyes up, furrow your brow, wriggle your nose. Spend a few moments with your face. And then let your eyes just soften. The sound of your breathing. And then let your awareness, your focus just come back to your feet. And at the soles of your feet. Tune into a feeling of peacefulness, a feeling of calm. And as you breathe in now, breathe that nourishing feeling into the soles of your feet. And that peacefulness rises into your ankles and into your calf muscles and into your shins. Just breathe in that element of peace. Calm, peace, serenity. Breathe it out. Release it into the world. That peaceful feeling rises up now into your knees, into your quads, into the muscles in your legs, into the bones, into the tissues, the joints. And you just breathe out, relaxing. That peacefulness now comes into your hips, into the hip joints. As you breathe, it flows into the organs within this area, bringing a peacefulness into the base, to the reproductive organs, into your belly. Just breathe out when you need to. And that feeling of peace becomes present at the base of your spine, in the sacrum. And as this next in-breath is received, peacefulness flows up the length of your spine, meanders its way through each of those 24 amazing vertebrae, nourishing the discs, the shoulders, the chest. Just breathe out and let go a little bit more. And that peacefulness becomes present in the front of the body, in the chest, in the lungs, the heart. And then you allow that peace to soothe its way into your throat center, softening the jaw and the face, the eyes. Let your tongue relax. And as you breathe out this next time, let this breath take you into a place of stillness, sanctuary of peace. And we're going to become aware of the whole body once more. Your legs, your arms, your head, trunk of the body. And then just above the crown of your head, allow yourself to invite in the brightest light. Could be the light of the sun, or a light brighter than 1,000 suns. And that light is a nourishing light, soothing, and it starts to flow down into your body. And as it flows, it energizes you. Flows over your eyes. Flows in through the nose, through the mouth. And this light contains prana, it's life force energy. And it soothes every cell, it energizes, it brings vitality. And it flows down into your body like a river of light, into your arms, into your hands, into your fingers. You just start to move your fingers and to start moving in your own way. And light flows over the front of your body, filling up the lungs, the chest. Being energized and revitalized as this light flows down into your arms, into your hands, into your hips, your knees, ankles and your feet. Right down to the very tips of your toes. So just turning over now onto whichever side suits you this morning. An image of yourself sitting in that place of peace, that restful place. And then I'm going to invite you to just become aware of your hands and press your hands into the mat and just gently bring yourself back to a seated position. Let the Crown of the head rise up, your shoulders to be open and broad. And just sitting in the seat of the self. Let your hands come together, make that connection between your palms. Rub your hands together. And place your nice warm palms over your eyes. Let your eyes open, let your fingers separate. Let that light come in and reawaken you. And then you can just give your head a tap on your cheeks, your jaw. Tap yourself back into your body in a gentle way. And give yourself a dust off. Yourself a lovely generous hug. And then maybe give the other side a hug as well. And we're just going to end by bringing your palms up above the head, like your palms come together. And your hands come down into your heart. And Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings be at peace. If you feel spacious after that, a bit in your head, you can always bring your head down and place your head on the ground. So I'll run over a little bit. I can't help it sometimes. So I hope that you enjoyed this morning's class. It's been lovely to have you all here. I'm afraid I've got some. It's not